Good morning. Today we are going to discuss about Michaelis method. So why we are using Michaelis method? If you take a simply supported beam, load is acting at the center. In this case, um, after load is applied, the bending will be symmetrical about the y-axis, this axis. So if we calculate the slope at this point, the same slope will be at this point also, since it is symmetrical. So similarly for deflection, if you are able to find deflection between these 2 points, the same will be here also that you can calculate. So slope and deflection, just by binding the slope and deflection between A and C, that can be extended to this area also. In case of double integration method, if you take the axis here, this is applicable only between A and C. Only between A and C, not applicable for this region. If it is symmetrical, no problem. But if you take a problem like this, it is not symmetrical. We don't know where the maximum deflection occur. It may be like this. It may be like this. It is not symmetrical. So in such cases, if you use double integration method, you will be able to find slope and deflection in particular portion only. If you take the axis here, then that will be applicable between A and C, between A and C in this area. If you take the axis here, then that will be applicable between the C and D. If you take the axis here, in case of double integration method, that will be applicable only between D and B. So other area, we will not be able to find the slope and deflection. So hence, Macaulay has given a procedure to find slope and deflection all the points. So that is just extension of the double integration method. So now let us discuss about the double integration method by solving this problem. By solving this problem. So here a problem is given. In this problem, it is a simply supported beam. There is a support at A as well as B. There are two loads at a distance of 1 meter and 3 meters. The 48 kilonewton load and 40 kilonewton load. You need to calculate deflection under each load, maximum deflection, and the point at which maximum deflection occurs. So these are all the data we need to calculate. So it is almost similar to the double integration method, but some change in the procedure. Now, in this method, I am taking this is origin, hence I am taking axis here. I am taking axis here, so that except the support, all the loads will be covered in the equation. Now, as usual, in the differential equation for the deflection, you substitute the value of moment. That is, the equation is EI. Before that, you have to find the reaction at A and B. Reaction at A and B. If you find the reaction at A and B, if you we are interested in the reaction at A, so you take moment about B. Taking moment about B. If you take moment about B, the equation will be RA multiplied by 6. That is equal to, so this is 1 meter. So this distance will be 5 meters. So 48 multiplied by 5 plus this is 40. The distance is, here it is 3. So this will be 3. So 40 into 3. Then RA will be 60 kilonewton. So now you can find the bending moment. First you write the differential equation for deflection, EI into d square y by dx square. That is equal to m. So now what is the m? M is equal to RA. R is equal to 60. I am taking this is x. I am taking this distance is equal to x. So hence it is 60 into x. This is clockwise moment. So positive 60 into x minus this load 48. 48. What is the distance? Distance is, this is 1 meter. So x minus 1. Distance is x minus 1. Then minus, this is 40. The distance is x minus 3. 40 into x minus 3. So this is the equation. You integrate 2 times. Integrate 2 times ei into dy by dx is equal to 60 into x. So after integration, you will get a constant c1. That the constant you take first. c1 plus 60 into x square by 2 minus 48 into x minus 1 the whole square by 2 minus 40 into x minus 3 the whole square by 2. So this is the first integration. Again you integrate it. Again integrate it. You will get ei into y is equal to c1 into x plus another constant you add here itself plus 60 into 60 by 2 x cube by 3 minus 48 by 2 x minus 1 cube by 3 minus 40 by 2 x minus 3 the whole cube by 3. So these are the two equations. Now you apply the boundary conditions. What are the boundary conditions? When x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. X is equal to 0. When x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. If you apply this boundary condition in this equation, so you will get c2 is equal to 0. You will get c2 is equal to 0. Another boundary condition is, so at point B, slope is equal to 0. Then what is the value of x? X is equal to 6. X is equal to 6. When x is equal to 6, y is equal to 0. This is another boundary condition. In the previous problem, we substituted x is equal to L by 2, dy by dx is equal to 0. That boundary condition you cannot apply here. The reason is, here we don't know where the maximum deflection occurs. At the maximum deflection, slope will be 0. But we don't know at this problem. It is not symmetrical. So that's what we applied this boundary condition. If you apply this boundary condition, you will get, in this equation, if you substitute, you will get C1 is equal to minus 163. Minus 163.33. So we got the value of C1 and C2. Right? Now you substitute in this equation. Substitute in this equation. C1, you will get a general form of equation, slope equation. You will get ei into y is equal to C1. C1 we know it is minus 63. Minus 163.3 x. C2 is equal to 0 plus 60 by 6 x cube minus 48 by 6. 48 by 6 x minus 1 cube minus 40 by 6 x minus 3 the whole cube. So this will be the equation. So our objective is to find slope and deflection at the point C and point D and the position of the maximum deflection and maximum deflection. So these are all the data we required. If you want to find slope at deflection at point C, if you want to slope at deflection at point C, then you must have taken the axis here. You must have taken the axis here. If you had taken axis here, then this is applicable between these two loads. So if want to find slope at point C, then you must have taken the axis here. If you don't take the axis here, then it is applicable between these 2 points. If you have taken the axis at this point, then you have to consider only the load left side. Then this load you should not consider. Already if you consider, this is that load. So if you want to find slope at point C, then you don't take this term. Don't take this term. the deflection at point C. Deflection at point C means what is the value of x? X is equal to 1. X is equal to 1 meter. X is equal to 1 meter. That is the point location of the point C. Location of the point C. So in this equation, without considering this portion, without considering this term, you substitute x is equal to 1, you will get y. You will get the value of y. So in this equation, ei into y is equal to minus 163.3 multiplied by 1 plus 60 by 6 into 1 cube minus, here x is equal to 1 means 1 minus 1 0. 1 minus 1 0. So in this equation, you can find the value of y. You substitute the value of x minus I and find the value of y. So this is which point? The deflection at point C. Deflection at point C. So YC. YC is equal to minus 9 millimeters. Minus 9 millimeters. Similarly, if you want to find deflection at point D, then either you can take a axis here or here. Both are applicable to find deflection at point D, because if you take axis here, that is applicable from this point to this point, C to D. If you take the axis here, it is applicable from D to B. So for both the equation will be applicable. So if you substitute in this equation, what is the at location D, what is the distance? X is equal to 3. X is equal to 3. If you substitute x is equal to 3, then you can find the value of yd. So that is ei into y, that is yd is equal to minus 163.3 into x is equal to 3 plus 60 by 6 into 3 power 3 minus 48.6. So here this is x, here x minus 1. X minus 1 means 3 minus 1. That is 3 minus 1, the whole power 3. Here you are going to substitute x is equal to 3. So 3 minus 3 is equal to 0. So that will be 0. So here the yd will be, if we calculate the yd, that is minus 16.7 millimeters. 7 millimeters yd. So now we are interested to find the location of the maximum deflection. So when the loads are acting like this, it may occur between C and D. The maximum deflection may occur C and D. Then if the deflection is maximum, slope is 0, we know. Slope is 0. So in the slope equation, you have to substitute the slope is equal to 0. At which location? At between C and D. Between C and D means you must have taken axis here. You must have taken axis here. Then this term will not be there. If you take the axis here, you have to consider the load on only left side. So you should not take this load. So this portion you should not take. Excluding this portion, in this equation, you substitute dy by dx equal to 0, you will get x value. You will get x value. In this equation, ei into, we are substituting dy by dx equal to 0. So that is equal to 0. 0 is equal to C1, we know. What is the value of C1? Minus 163. Minus 163.3 plus 60 into x square by 2. Here it is 48 minus 48 into x minus 1, the whole power. This is 2 square by 2. So if you solve this equation, you will get x is equal to 2.87 meter. So what is the meaning? At 2.87, maybe here. At x is equal to 2.87, the deflection is maximum. The deflection is maximum. So at this point, deflection is maximum. Now we have to find the maximum deflection. In this equation, In this equation, substitute x is equal to 2.87. That will give you the maximum deflection. That is EI into Y max. That is Y max. What's the value of x? X is equal to 2.87. 2.87. So minus 163.3 into 2.87 plus 60 by 6 into 2.87 the whole cube minus 48.6 into 2.87 minus 1 the whole cube. Here also you should not take this term. You should not take this term. Why? So here the maximum deflection occur between C and D. Then axis must be here. If the axis is here, you have to take only loads left side. So this 40 kilonewton load will not come into picture. You remove this term. Remove this term. So here Y max will be minus 16.7 meters millimeters. So this is the answer. So now we have calculated deflection at point C, deflection at point D, and the location of the maximum deflection. That is x is equal to 2.87, and the maximum deflection at that point, that is minus 16.7 millimeter. So these are all the answers. Now we will discuss about this problem. In this problem, there is a uniformly distributed load. There is a uniformly distributed load. There is a supported A, another supported B, right? And there is a uniformly distributed load. In this load, the first step is to find the reaction at A and B. So as usual, you take moment about B. So we want to find the reaction at A. We want to find the reaction at the A. So taking moment about B, so you can write the equation like this. That is RA multiplied by 8. That is equal to 8 is equal to, this is 40. 40 into distance is 4. Distance is 4 multiplied by 40 into 4. And if you take moment, so this is the load will be, you can assume it is at the center. It is at the center, and that what will be the distance? This distance will be, this is 2. This is 2. So 2 plus 3, 5. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. So from this you can find the value of RA. What's the value of RA? R is equal to 100 Newton. 100 kilonewton. 100 kilonewton. So this is RA. So now you write the equation. In the differential equation for deflection, you substitute the value of moment. So now we are taking axis here. We are taking axis here. Here in this problem, the uniformly distributed load is only some portion is applied. When you take the axis here, this must be extended up to the support. This must be extended up to the support. So if you add an extra load like this to balance this in the same portion, you got to apply a upward load. That is a downward load. Here we are applying the upward load, but same magnitude. Same magnitude. Then it will be balanced. If you take like this, then only you will be able to solve this problem. So now we have here one load, here one load, 2 loads. So now this is a x axis, and you are taking this value. This is x. This is x. Then in the differential equation for deflection, you substitute the moment. What is the equation? Equation is EI into d square y by dx square. This is a equation. In this equation, this is 100 kilonewtons. So if we take moment about this, that is 100 into x. 100 into x minus, you take now this load, the 40 kilonewton load, up to this support, that is load is 40. Then what is the distance? That is x minus 1. So here you got to minus this 1. So x minus 1 into distance. This is a load, x minus 1 by 2. by 2. Then again plus, this is acting in the upward direction, this is a clockwise moment, so that is 40 into x minus 5, x minus 5, x minus 5 into x minus 5 by 2, that is square by 2 by 2. And if you integrate it, if you integrate it, that is ei into dy by dx. So you take the constant here, take the constant here, plus 100 x square by 2, x square by 2 minus here 40 x minus 1, x minus 1, x minus 1 the whole square. So 40 here, 1 2 is there, so 40 by 2 x minus 1 square, so 3 by 3, 3 by 3 plus here 40 minus 5, that is 40 by 2 x minus 5 the whole cube by 3. So this is the first integration. Integrate again, integrate again. If you integrate again, you will get ei into y is equal to c1x plus another constant. You put the another constant plus 100 x cube by 3. 1 2 you have to put this 2 and minus 40 by 6 x minus 1 power 4 by 4 plus 40 by 6, 40 by 6 x minus 5 the whole power 4. So this is a equation. This is a equation. Now we have to substitute two boundary conditions. One first boundary condition is when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. This is a boundary condition. If substituting this equation, you will get c2 is equal to 0. c2 is equal to 0. Another boundary condition is when x is equal to, what is the distance? This support, this is 8. When x is equal to 8 and y is equal to 0. This boundary condition you have to substitute in this equation. If you substitute, you will get the value of c1. What is the value of c1? c1 is equal to minus 583. Minus 583.3. So now we got the value of c2 and c1. Right? You substitute this in this equation. In this equation, if you substitute in this equation, that is ei into y is equal to c1 minus 583.3 into x, then plus 100 by 6, 100 by 6 x cube minus 40 by 24, 24 x minus 1 power 4 plus 40 by 24 x minus 5 the whole power 4. So this is the general equation of deflection. So now we have to calculate the deflection at center. Deflection at center. Center means what is the value of x? X is equal to here 1 plus 4, 5, 3, 8. So x is equal to 4. X is equal to 4. If you substitute x is equal to 4 in this equation, you can find the value of deflection at center. Deflection at center, that is y center. Y center, that is equal to minus 16.3. Minus 16.3 millimeters. So here, while substituting in this y center, that is x is equal to 4, x is equal to 4 will come here. X is equal to 4 will come here. Then you have to take only load left side. Only load left side. Then you should not take this portion. You should not take this portion. Then the equation will be, how it will come? Ei into y. Ei into y is equal to minus 583.3 into x. What is the x value? What is the x value? X is equal to 4 plus 100 by 6 into x is equal to 4. So 4 cube minus 40 by 24 into 4 minus 1 power 4. So you don't take this term because you are taking the axis here, right? Now this will be the so this will be minus 16.3 millimeters, right? The next step is we are interested in the maximum deflection. We are interested in the maximum deflection. So in this problem, the maximum deflection may occur between the center and A, because the load is acting at this portion concentrated, right? So now for this also you have to take axis here only. If you take axis here, then you should not take this term. So in the slope equation, you don't take this term. And in this equation, you substitute dy by dx equal to 0. Because at the maximum deflection, dy is equal to 0. So this is the equation you have to use for this, right? So if you substitute this, 0 is equal to C1, we know C1 is equal to minus 83.3 plus 100 x square by 2 plus 100 x square by 2 minus 40 into x minus 1 the whole cube by 6. If you solve this equation, you will get x is equal to 3.83 meters. So this is a location of maximum deflection. Now what you got to do? You substitute the value of x equal to 3.83 in the deflection equation. But you should not consider the last term. Why? Because we are taking axis here. Now EI into y is equal to minus 583.3 into 3.83 plus 100 by 6 into 3.83 cube minus 40 by 24 3.83 minus 1 power 4. If you calculate the y value will be minus 16.33 millimeters. So now we calculated deflection at center, that is 16.3 millimeters, and the location of the maximum deflection, that is x is equal to 3.83, and also we calculated the maximum deflection, that is 16.33, right? Now we will discuss about this problem. So in this problem, simply supported beam with a moment. First, as usual, you take the reaction at A and B. So now taking moment about A. You take the moment about A. If you take moment about A, what you'll get, that is RB into 4. That is equal to, already here this value is only moment itself. It is directly given as a couple. So that is equal to 300. Then you will get, what is RB? This is 300 divided by 4. 300 divided by 4. So this is not 4. This is 4 plus 2, 6. The distance is equal to 6. So divided by 6, that is equal to 50 kilonewton. So RB is equal to 50 kilonewton. How to calculate RA? RA plus RB is equal to, here there is no load at all. Only moment is there. So that is equal to 0. Then what will be the value of RA? RA is equal to minus RB. What is RB? That is equal to 50. So minus 50. So what is the meaning of minus 50? Minus 50 kilonewton means here the load RA is acting upward direction. This is acting in the downward direction. Actually, here there is a downward load, 50 kilonewton. Now you come to the differential equation of deflection. That is EI d square y by dx square. That is equal to, here this is 50, but this is acting in the downward direction, not in the upward direction. This is acting in the downward direction. It is a counterclockwise movement. So that is minus 50 into x. Now we are taking axis here. Now we are taking axis here. This is a distance x. This is a distance x. So minus 50 into x. Then here we have a couple. What is the direction of the couple? It's a clockwise. It is a clockwise. So plus 300. So we want to substitute in Newton, kilonewton meter. Already it is given in kilonewton. Couple is a kilonewton meter. So 300. But however, you have to put the distance. How you have to put the distance is x minus 4 power 0. Automatically it will be 1. Automatically it will be 1. So it has a reason. It has a reason. Let us see. First now let us integrate. Now let us integrate. If you integrate, EI into dy by dx is equal to minus 50 into x. So you have to put the constant first. You have to put the constant first. What is the constant? C1 minus C1 minus 50 x square by 2 plus 300 into x minus 4. This 0 become 1. So if you don't take here the x minus 4 for 0, you will get, here you will get x value. If you integrate it, you will get x. But here the actual distance is, if you take the axis here, it is x minus 4. So that's what we have taken, x minus 4 for 0. Again, if you integrate, you will get EI into y is equal to C1 dx plus C2 minus 50 by 2 x cube by 3 plus 300 into x minus 4, this is minus 4 by 2. So now to find the C1 and C2, you have got to apply the boundary conditions. You have to apply the boundary condition. When x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. So that is the boundary condition is here. Boundary condition is here. Then you have to take the axis here. You have to take the axis here. If you take the axis here, the right side of the right side term you should not take. So you should not take this term. If you don't take this term, you will get C2 is equal to 0. Now x is equal to, what is the value? 6. When x is equal to 6, y is equal to 0. If you apply this boundary condition, you can take the whole term. You can take the whole term. You substitute in this equation. Substitute in this equation. If you substituting, what you will get? That is 0 is equal to, already C2 is 0. So C1 into, we are substituting x is equal to 6 into 6 minus 50 by 2 into 6 cube by 3 plus 300 into 6 minus 4 the whole square by 2. From this you can find the value of C1. The value of C1 is 200. 200. So this is the value of C1. Right? But C2 is equal to 0. So now you will get the equation. This equation is substitute. If you substitute, you will get EI into y is equal to C1 is 200. C1 is equal to 200. So 200 into x. 200 into x. C2 is 0 minus 50 by 6 x cube. 50 by 6 x cube plus 300 into x minus 4 the whole square by 2. So this is the equation you will get. This is a general form of equation. Now wherever you want, you can find the deflection. So the first step is a deflection at the point where couple is acting. That is point C. So to calculate YC, what is the value of x? X is equal to 4. You substitute x is equal to 4. If you substitute x is equal to 4, you can find the value of y in this equation. Now the YC is equal to 6.66 6.66 millimeters. Similarly, you find the point at which the deflection is more. For that, what you have to do in the deflection equation, you have to substitute dy by dx equal to 0. dy by dx equal to 0. The maximum deflection may occur between a and c. Then the last term you should not take. So in this equation, 0 is equal to C1, what is the value of C1? It is 200. 200 minus 50 by 2 x square. Here you can find the value of x. What is the value of x? X is equal to 2.8 meters. Now you substitute the value of 2.8 in this equation. If you substitute, you can find the value of y max. Here also you don't take the last term. Then y max is equal to 9.4 meters. Now we have deflection at C, YC. The location of the maximum deflection is 2.8 meters and maximum deflection is 9.4 meters. So this is a way we have to solve this problem, right?